Okay, there we go. All right, everyone. So I want to welcome not only our usuals from Team Fearless and Team Fierce Ambition, but I want to welcome Jennifer O'Connor and her girls onto tonight's team. Jennifer did an awesome call for us a couple weeks ago, and we are going to do another call with her team tonight. And together we are better, right? So hopefully this is something we can continue to do, because I think when teams work together, a lot more comes out of it, just like how, Trisha and I do. So, and if you're in our Dash to Diamond group, you know Jennifer and probably some of her girls from that group, because we are doing that group together. So welcome everybody. And I'm going to get started on tonight's call. I should have set this up a little bit better, but I didn't. So tonight I wanted to talk about getting knocked down, especially in this business. I don't know how many of you guys get the Darren Daily. Do you guys get the Darren Daily? It's usually a couple minutes. If not, you should sign up. It's like a text, and it's like 2 minutes of personal development in the morning, and it's great. But I got one the other day, and it was just him, 2 minutes talking about getting knocked down and getting back up. And it kind of really hit home with me. So I was like, okay, I think I'm going to talk about that this week. So the fact of the matter is we all get knocked down, right? We don't get knocked down once. We don't get knocked down twice. We get knocked down repeatedly, sometimes daily. We get knocked down in our personal lives. We get knocked down in our fitness, whether we couldn't do a move, or we couldn't finish that day, or we missed a day, or we ate pizza, or the whole pizza, or cake. And we get knocked down in our business. We get knocked down every single day. If we're sending out our if we're doing our 3 vital behaviors and we're sending out our invites every day, we're getting knocked down every single time we get a no. And it stings and it hurts. But even bigger than that, we're getting knocked down on our bigger goals. Sorry, can everyone mute themselves? Somebody's on and I can't figure out who. Here we go. I fixed it. Okay. So we get knocked down when we don't hit our goals. If we didn't hit Success Club 1 month, if we didn't rank advance on the day that we hoped that we would rank advance, if we didn't hit Premier, if we didn't end the year elite because of either points or rank. And it's really hard. It's really hard to accept those sometimes. So what you do after getting knocked down is really what's important. The reasoning behind the falling, the what, the if, the why, isn't as important for our success and our future success as to what we do after, how we got back up. There's that quote, defeat is a temporary condition, but quitting is permanently. So what do you do after you fall? What do you do after you don't hit that goal or you get knocked down? Do you stay down? And how long do you stay down for? Do you throw in the towel? Do you wave the white flag? Do you say, this isn't for me? And do you line up the excuses of why it's not for you or why it's not working for you? Or, do you take a few days? Do you take a week? Do you stop posting, inviting, working out? Like, did you take it personally that somebody said no and then you don't invite for the next 3 days? And wait until, you're motivated to go again? Or do you suck it up and you just keep going? Do you get back at it and move forward? What you do in that moment and that time after you have failed, not reached a goal, or gotten knocked down is what's going to lead to your success and be important. Sorry, I want to just fix this because my computer's being weird, or my Zoom's being weird. So something that's really knocked me down personally in the last 9 months has been my pregnancy. I am 35, almost 36 weeks pregnant at this point, going into my 10th month of pregnancy. And I have to say that this was a surprise pregnancy. When I first found out, it was all very weird and scary. And it took a while to get used to it. But once I accepted it and thought about it, I was like, this is going to help my business. This is really going to help my business. I'm going to have a healthy pregnancy. I'm going to have a fit pregnancy. And it's really going to help me grow as a coach. And as a team, I'm going to be able to connect with new people and all this stuff. But you know what? It hasn't done that at all. It's been the exact opposite. My business has slowed down tremendously. It's hard for me to hit Success Club. I don't feel connected to the people that I was connecting with prior to being pregnant. I'm making new connections in the way that, the new moms and pregnant moms, but it's not helping me and my business now. And I can only hope that it's going to help my business in the future. But it's really been hard for me. And it's definitely something that's brought me down personally. So I feel like I've had two choices going through this the last number of months. And it was either I could quit, give up, say, I'll come back bigger, better, stronger after I have the baby. Or I could keep going. I could keep posting my workouts, posting invites to my challenges and my coaching and being on my team. And I can keep doing the 3 vital behaviors and inviting and hope that it helps me stay on track so that when I am ready to come back with my business, or when my business decides that it wants to turn around, that I'm there and I can move forward quicker than having to start fresh and start over, if that makes sense. It's kind of the same way with my fitness. I haven't given up on my fitness, even though it's hard for me right now to stay on track the way that I was. I'm still trying to push play as many times as I can a week, because I could have easily given up and used the pregnancy card and said, no, I can't do the workouts anymore. But then I would have been starting again at day 1 after the baby was born, instead of being closer to where I want to be and being able to get back on track and faster, if that makes sense. So that was like a big knockdown for me. And I had to make a decision of how I was going to move forward with it. And the other thing that it's taught me is that we have to constantly be changing and rebuilding and refocusing and regrouping what we're doing. Because if we don't, especially after we failed at something, we're never going to be able to move forward. There was another quote I came across that says, when defeat comes, accept it as it is, accept it as a signal that your plans are not sound, rebuild those plans and set sail once more towards your goal. So I have to accept the fact that I'm not connecting with the same people that I had been connecting. I'm not going to connect maybe with those people even after the baby is born. So what worked for me last year or last week or last month, what worked for you last year or last month might not be working for you now, or it might not work for you next month. So we have to always be willing to change, move forward, to use our failures as a learning experience to figure out new ways to move forward. That's really important for getting up and getting back on track. Another thing that I think stops us from picking up the pieces and moving forward is comparing ourselves to others. Like I said, I assumed I was going to have this awesome fit pregnancy that was going to help with my business because I saw other coaches do it. I saw a coach in my downline have tremendous business growth during her pregnancy and post-pregnancy. And I was like, oh man, if she can do it, I can do it. And I still to this day can't figure out the difference. Like, I'm doing what she was doing. So why is she doing it better than I did? But I have to stop focusing on that. And you have to stop focusing on what other people are doing. When you're focusing your attention on someone else and what they're doing, you're not focusing on yourself and moving forward. So when you're comparing yourself and you're comparing your worst with someone else's best. And that's not really going to help you move forward at all. You might not see you're obviously not seeing what's going on behind closed doors for them, or maybe what they're doing or what they're not doing. So you have to not compare, and figure out what works for you. And it's never ending. When you're comparing yourself to somebody or to other people or to other coaches or to their success, it's never going to end. You're always going to find something to compare yourself with or about. It's a never ending cycle. So if you don't put a stop to it, it won't ever stop. There's always going to be something there for you to compare yourself to. The only people you can control in your life is you. You can control yourself. So you need to take the energy that you have and focus it on yourself, and not focus it on what everyone else is doing, and figure out what works for you and what's going to help you move forward in, like I said, in personal, in fitness, and in this business. I think another thing that gets us off track, keeps us down, knocks us down, is when people say negative things. They comment, they commented on something on your post, or they said something to you in person, or probably even a family member has said something to you. But you have to worry. You can't worry about what other people are thinking, as hard as that is. They don't live your life. They don't pay your bills. They don't determine your happiness. Your thoughts, your feelings, where you want to go with your life, your goals, and what you need from this business is just as valuable as everything that they have to say in their mind. So don't let what anyone else is thinking bring you down or determine whether or not you're going to come back from something. Worry about what you think. Worry about what your spouse thinks, your significant other thinks, what your children think. Worry about what the people who are important in your life think. And I know sometimes it's hard to say, because we get a lot of negative feedback from like our parents or our siblings, or sometimes even our spouse or a significant other. That's definitely not unheard of in this business. But we have to worry about less about what others think and more about what we think. And don't let those negative comments be what keeps you down and doesn't let you stand up straight and fight for what you're going for and go back getting after your goals. Sorry. Oh, there was another quote I found here. I talk fast, don't I? Not as fast as Jennifer, but I don't feel like I have as much information to share tonight, so I need to slow down. So we would worry less about what others think if we realized how seldom they do. I mean, the fact of the matter is, people really aren't worried about you. They aren't thinking about you. If they have lives, they're focused on themselves and they're worried about themselves. And if there really are people out there that are commenting on your stuff and posting on your stuff and really worried about what you're thinking and you're doing and where you're going, that's their problem. That's not your problem. They are the ones that need the life and that need to change. So you're going to get knocked down in life. That's just the fact of the matter. I have a little quick video of, from the movie Rocky. Well, Rocky 5, I think it is. Let me find it. And it's just from the movie, and it's funny and it's cute, and he's talking to his son, and it's just about how life isn't perfect and it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, but what you do to come back. So I'm just going to play it really quick. I liked it. I enjoyed it. So hopefully you guys do too. Let me find it. Screen share. Safari, share computer sound. Uh, can you guys see it? Okay. Oops, sorry.
You know, living with you, it hasn't been easy. People see me, but they think of you. Now with all this going on, this is going to be worse than ever.
It don't have to be.
No, sure it does.
Why? You got a lot going on, kid.
What, my last name? That's the reason I got a decent job. That's the reason why people deal with me in the first place. Now I start to get a little ahead. I start to get a little something for myself. And this happens. Now I'm asking you as a favor not to go through with this, okay? This is only going to end up bad for you, and it's going to end up bad for me.
You think I'm hurting you?
Yeah, in a way you are.
It's the last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is. Don't you care what people think? Doesn't it bother you that people are making you out to be a joke and that I'm going to be included in that? Do you think that's right? Do you?
You ain't gonna believe this, but you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life. Don't forget to visit your mother.
You guys all were able to see that, right? I don't know. You know, Rocky, he's all short and sweet. But I don't know. I thought that was a really good quote. I saw the quotes and then I YouTubed the video, but I was going to read again. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It is a very mean and nasty place. It will beat you to your knees and keep you permanently if you let it. You, me, and nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't how hard you hit, it is how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning's done. And I think that kind of perfectly relates, I mean, to this business, to our life, to fitness in general. It's really easy to let people get in our way, to let excuses get in our way. And you have to always go back to that why, to your why. It always goes back to that, right? It always goes back to that why. So if you don't know your why, if you've never written out your why, if it's not strong enough to push you forward, to make you stand back up, to make you fight the fight, then you need to revisit it, rewrite it, and dig deeper and make it bigger, better, and stronger. Because that's what's going to always keep you moving forward. That's what's going to make you take these knockdowns, however long they may be, whether it's a day, a week, 9 months, and keep you moving forward and moving in the right direction. Because we're going to get hit constantly, all the time, every day, little and big. And it's up to us to figure out how we can get up quickly and be bigger and better and stronger. So at the end of that Darren Daily, like I said, it's only about 2 minutes, but he says, you're going to get hit. You're going to get knocked down. It's not a when, or I mean, it's not a, I don't even know what I'm saying. It's not when or how or if. It's a matter. I'm sorry. I have such pregnancy brain. I'm lucky I made it this far without stumbling over my words. You're going to get hit. You're going to not get knocked down. It's not a matter of if or when, but it's a matter of what you do after. It's how long you stay down before you get yourself back up. So that was the whole point of my call, is to figure out, I guess at the end of it, it's really to figure out your why and what's going to keep you moving forward, what's going to get you back up, and remembering that you can't stay down. You can't stay down and you can't stay defeated if you want to be successful in anything, especially in this business. If you're defeated, get up and move on, and tomorrow's a new day. Don't let it last a week or a month. I know Jennifer and I, for example, we were very defeated at the end of last year. We took big hits. We had big goals of being an elite team, and it didn't happen for either of us. And so we could have thrown in the towel and we could have said, well, screw it. But instead we started chatting with each other and decided to make a run for it right away in January and move on from there. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
It's funny that you mentioned that too, because my fiance started this little thing in my team page where he's talking about how we are all aboard the train to Elite 2016. So we're getting shirts made too that say all aboard the Fit Possible train to Elite 2016.
Oh, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So, yeah. So again, that's it. I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything like that. I'm willing to answer them. I hope you got something out of this call. I'm glad I was able to talk without being brain dead. I was saying to one of my coaches this morning, Maureen, that I can't even speak anymore. My kids think I'm nuts. I'm telling them to brush their pajamas and eat their, I don't even know, eat their toothpaste. I can't think anymore. I'm so over being pregnant. I can't even think straight.
That's funny.
Dana, can I just add one thing?
Yes.
You were talking about people posting negative things or haters on your page. And I've kind of learned over the past couple of months just to embrace them. They're adding to they're keeping my post going. And they, I'll have people say Shakeology with a question mark, or, shake it, or just stuff like that. And I just find it humorous. And I'm like, okay, you're just boosting me up because people are going to think you're a jerk. And what I'm doing is good. It doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah.
It used to, but it doesn't.
It used to bother me too. I think especially when we're new coaches, it's really hard to come out of the body closet because we're really worried about what people think. But at the end of the day, who's really thinking about us? Either they're thinking about us because they want to join us, or they're thinking about us because they're thinking negative things. But why are they thinking negative things? That's on them. That's their problem. They're wasting their time on us. And I'll tell you what, before I was a Beachbody coach, I was thinking negative things about Beachbody coaches because I was envious of what they were doing. So can't beat them, join them. Here I am. So anyone else have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I missed it.
All right, then. I tried to do a speaker view, but for some reason it kept coming up like a little square. So I think we're all on the recording, just so you guys know. So, okay. Well, I don't want to keep anyone too late. I know I'm ready for bed. But so if no one else has any questions or anything like that, I guess we'll call it a night. Thanks everyone for getting on. I really appreciate it. I hope you got something out of
Thanks,
it.
Dana.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
Good night.
Night, guys.
Bye.
Good night.